This is KGW News at 11.
We begin at 11 with Oregon's unemployment relief program. It's out of money and shutting down almost as soon as it started. Thanks for joining us. I'm Laurel Porter. The good news is checks are now in the hands of 70,000 Oregonians, giving them some form of relief. The bad? Those who missed out are still hurting. Catherine Cook spoke with a woman who tried desperately to get help but was let down.
The money is gone. All $35 million of it. In less than 3 days, Oregonians in need collected 70,000 checks worth $500 each. The money came from the CARES Act and went on a first-come, first-served basis to those who qualified for it. To get their checks, thousands of people waited in line at participating banks and credit unions like this On Point location in Beaverton. Many couldn't apply online because they don't have internet. That includes Rebecca Lester.
We need help. Some of us really, really need help.
Rebecca is broke. She collects cans and relies on food boxes to support her and her adult son with special needs. Rebecca herself has diabetes, but the hope of getting $500 compelled her to stand in a crowded line again.
It's like a tease. I was in Hillsborough and I was here. I was in Hillsborough at 10 o'clock yesterday morning and I was here at 7 this morning. And both times I have to walk away with nothing and it hurts. I'm so grateful for every bit of help everyone gets, but not everybody's getting the help and some of us are just really, really having a hard time.
Rebecca and others feel how the state chose to distribute the checks was not fair, ethical, or humane. In some lines, fights broke out. Social distancing wasn't observed, and many stood in line for hours in near 90-degree heat. On Friday, Senate President Peter Courtney addressed concerns, including using the first-come, first-served method during a pandemic.
We had reached the point, enough is enough, we're going to do something. We did not hold a summit meeting. We did not get together. We didn't do that. And it's not that we didn't care about the virus. We surely did. It's just that we felt the pain was so bad and people's loss of respect was so bad that we had to do what we did the way we did it.
Back at On Point, credit union staff did what they could to organize the process.
They give you a ticket, and I guess if you didn't get a ticket, that's the end of the line, which sucks for the people that really need it.
People like Rebecca. She didn't get a ticket or $500. Now, the money is gone.
And it's almost like they're teasing us, hanging a carrot in front of us. Because if they don't have enough money, they should have done this a whole different way.
House Speaker Tina Kotek also weighed in today. Asked how much money she thought the program would have needed to meet the demand. Her response was probably hundreds of millions of dollars. Catherine Cook, KGW News.
Well, you have got to feel for Rebecca and everyone else who didn't get any money. Here is a quick look at today's coronavirus numbers. The Oregon Health Authority confirms 259 new cases and 2 more deaths. Marion County has the highest number of new cases with 55. Multnomah County follows with 38 and Malheur County with 28. And until those numbers go down, it looks increasingly likely students in Oregon won't return to the classroom for a while. Today, Governor Brown said there needs to be a substantial decline in COVID cases first, and that may not happen until April. Kylie Boshi has the story.
Getting kids back into the classroom is a top priority, but to do so, Oregon's governor warned, we've got to step it up.
There's definitely some COVID fatigue out there, and I hear that. We all want to get back to normal, but unfortunately, we have to continue to ramp up our efforts.
At a Friday press conference, Governor Kate Brown said students won't return to school for in-person learning until the state can substantially reduce the spread of coronavirus. At the current rate of infection, she warned it would take more than 200 days before kids can safely go back into the classroom. You do the math, that's April.
We need to see a much more rapid decline in case numbers, and we need to see it quickly.
Health officials note Oregon is making progress. Recently, COVID cases have declined, along with positive test rates.
We're on the right track. Now we need to step on the gas.
That means wearing masks, social distancing, and avoiding large gatherings. And if they don't, and the numbers don't improve, the governor warned there could be a crackdown, including closing bars and restaurants, travel restrictions, and quarantine for some people coming into the state.
We are trying to send a very clear message to Oregonians. If we don't step up to the next level, then I'm going to have to take more restrictive action. And that is a decision I am reluctant to make. And it's a decision that by all of us working together, we can prevent.
The governor said the goal is simple: get kids back into the classroom by curbing the spread of coronavirus. Right now, the state is seeing about 300 cases a day. Health officials say we need to get that number down to 60 a day. Kyle Aboshi, KGW News.
As for college students, some will start the year online, but others may return to class in person. We talked with staff at Reed College, which starts classes on August 31st. Faculty there say about 25% of classes will only be done in person, while the vast majority will either be a mix of both or online only. Face masks are mandatory in classrooms. The college has converted some larger spaces into temporary classrooms and is exploring outdoor learning too.
In-person instruction is what we know how to do best. It's what the students who come to Reed most want. I think the students felt pretty good about the instruction they received online last spring. What they missed more than anything else was the contact with each other.
Universities and colleges have to meet certain state guidelines before starting in-person learning. Major universities like the U of O are still working on a plan, and Oregon State says about 90% of classes will be held remotely. Classes don't start at either university until late September. Developing tonight, protesters are out in Portland once again tonight. A large crowd gathered by Irving Park in Northeast Portland this evening and marched through neighborhoods to the North Police Precinct. Now take a live look at the scene. Police say officers have had objects thrown at them and lasers pointed at their eyes. They're warning protesters to stop or they may be arrested. Police have declared riots and unlawful assemblies at other protests this week. We'll keep you updated on what happens here. This weekend, the FBI is investigating a threat to federal buildings in Portland. Several of those buildings have been closed as a result. The Oregonian reports the threat involved a vehicle filled with explosives hitting a federal building, but KGW has not been able to independently confirm that. What we do know is this comes amidst nightly demonstrations throughout Portland. A spokesperson for the FBI addressed that this afternoon.
There's no indication that this threat is related to the criminal violence that we're seeing downtown on a nightly basis or in other parts of the city. But certainly that is something that is top of mind for everybody. And so we need to determine if there's any linkage, but at this time there doesn't appear to be.
The security manager for the city of Portland sent an email to city employees today urging them to go home by noon and to stay away for the weekend. He cited scheduled demonstrations as well as the potential for increases in dangerous or violent activity. Portland police say the man suspected of attacking a pickup truck driver in downtown Portland has turned himself in. Marquise Love now faces multiple charges. The incident happened Sunday near a Black Lives Matter protest. Love is accused of beating the driver of that pickup who crashed at Southwest Taylor and Broadway. Police say the victim was seriously injured but is out of the hospital now. Gresham Fire says a 14-year-old girl was life-flighted to the hospital today from Oxbow Park. She was reportedly at Camp Collins, crossing the river with a group when her foot got caught on something and she fell into the water. Gresham Fire says she was wearing a life jacket, but the swift current ripped it off. We don't know her condition. Police now say a shooting in the Sumner neighborhood is a homicide. It happened yesterday near Northeast 90th and Skidmore. Police say the victim is 66-year-old Thomas Hammond. They're asking anyone in the area who may have home security video to come forward, specifically between Northeast Prescott Street and Northeast Skidmore Street from Northeast 85th to 92nd between 3 and 4 p.m. yesterday. Oregon State Police say they have arrested the man accused of terrorizing drivers on I-5. Police say 49-year-old Kenneth Ayers of Roseburg has shot at random cars since late May, and they say he did it while driving his route for UPS. The latest shooting was Wednesday. Police say he shot at a teacher, a mother of 5, who was driving in Jackson County in southern Oregon. She is expected to be okay. Police also linked Ayers to shootings in Josephine and Douglas counties. His neighbors say they're stunned.
It's so cliche, and I hate to sound cliche, but it's like, never would imagine him, but then it turns out to be him.
In addition to this week's shooting, investigators believe Ayers shot at 6 other vehicles while he was on the clock in separate incidents in May, June, and July. They're still trying to figure out why he would want to hurt so many people. UPS said in a statement, "We are appalled to hear about these allegations and are fully cooperating with the responding authorities." Strong winds are fueling a wildfire that is growing in central Oregon. The Green Ridge Fire has now burned just under 3,600 acres. There are level 1 get ready evacuation orders in the immediate area. This is by Camp Sherman, northwest of Bend. There is no containment on the fire so far.